Okay, so it seems that there's been a little bit of a situation going on in the Hololive space, more so to do with the Hololive Dev IS sister branch, whatever you want to call it, right? And yeah, obviously this is Ichijo Ririka, a member of the Regloss kind of subunit. And yeah, I mean, it seems like there's been some pretty crazy stuff going down with her VTuber model and her artist. Now, if you don't know, she's been a part of, Hololive for I think 2 years now, just over 2 years. So again, she's been around for a little while. And yeah, it seems like this kind of post, which was put up by the artist, obviously has actually kind of caught the attention of a lot of people. They're getting over 10.3 million views since, obviously 6 to 7 hours ago. I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not 12 years old, I swear. It's pretty crazy because obviously as an English speaking person, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are English, well, I hope you're English, obviously, because you're going to be understanding me. But again, a lot of people do not understand kind of Japanese and what is going on, but thankfully a lot of people are here to actually kind of explain it, and I kind of wanted to go through and explain this situation because it's a pretty crazy one. Now, people have been talking about this over on Kurosanji, and essentially people are saying, from what I understand, reading some of the quote retweets, the dude crashed out because he disapproved of some of the behavior exhibited by Ririka, like getting drunk on stream or tweeting something weird or whatever unsay-so shenanigans Holo memes usually get up to. Basically, he's being possessive of the design and thinks that the behaviors exhibited by Ririka's actress is inappropriate and unbecoming to the design and deviates from his own vision of how Ichijo Ririka is supposed to behave. So he deleted everything Ririka related, stopped taking any more work regarding Ririka, and demanded some changes from Cover and to correct Ririka. Cover obviously is protecting Ririka, so told him to pound sand. Now lawyers are involved. A lot is unclear and ongoing, but this dude is getting roasted in the quote retweets. Cover has put out a similarly vague statement, but affirmed that they will stand by Ririka no matter what and let her be herself. So yeah, obviously it seems like, yeah, they are the artist behind the model, I think, and the design, I guess. I don't know if they're the actual specific model artist, but they've at least designed the character in general, right? And they're unhappy about some of the things that she's been getting up to over on Twitter and stuff, and not just Twitter but also streams. There's been clips and stuff that I've seen also of her like jumping around like drunk and things like that on stream, which sometimes is a fun time for a lot of people, right? I think there's no problem with a streamer getting drunk on stream and just having a good time, right? But obviously a lot of people have some problems with that, and that's totally fine if you do. Some people dislike that, and everybody has their own kind of, I guess, preferences whenever it comes to a VTuber and how they act on stream, because some people like the very straightforward, like usual kind of I guess default VTuber, right, where they're very nice and they more than likely put on a persona type thing. But some people do like the more crazy, ones that get drunk and, crash out on people, not like in a serious way, but, just kind of have a little bit of fun of things. But it seems like the artist for this design, isn't happy with how the character is being displayed, right? And it's weird. I think that obviously the artist is in the wrong for doing this. I think that obviously the artist can design, the actual design of the character however they want. But after that, and once it gets given to whoever and whatever they want, then they kind of have no say in it. And I think that is, how it should be. I don't think the artist should dictate who and, how this character is kind of presented, especially after all of this time, right? It's been 2 years. Sure, if you had a little bit of issue, like during like talent auditions or whatever, or, on their first debut, and you weren't really gelling with it, and you told them, hey, I don't really know about this. Sure, but it's been 2 years, right? It's been 2 whole years. You kind of knew, what she was like for a while. But now we're just deciding to come out with it and, say that you dislike it. I think that it's a little bit too late. And I think it is a little bit too far gone. Because, again, if you think about any other VTuber in the space, not just, Ririka here, like even indie VTuber, how horrible would it be if a artist was to suddenly just go, I don't like how they're acting with my model. I'm going to take it. I'm going to, take down all of the posts that I've made of it and say that I dislike them using my model now. just because they dislike, what is going on. I think that is pretty crazy, especially after how much time has passed. And, there's been a lot of people clowning on them, as they said over on Twitter. People saying, apparently Ririka's artist doesn't like how the person behind Ririka is using her model, so the artist asks Cover to do something about it so that she fits the model's image. The discussions went sideways, and that the artist unfollowed Ririka and deleted all of her artwork. So this is probably one of the rare cases where the artist publicly disliked the VTuber using their model, but props to Cover for prioritizing their talents first and aiming to settle this instead of punishing Ririka for being herself. And yeah, obviously, Ririka is just being herself. Ririka is just doing what exactly, she set out to do and what she auditioned for. Obviously, it's not a surprise. It's not like she suddenly started acting differently. She's always been like that. But for some reason, they, decided to kind of, I guess, crash out about it. They say, what does Ririka even do that wouldn't fit her model? How is this even decided? What fits and doesn't fit? So we have no clue. Fans gave some speculative instances, but most of them are pretty tame to regular JP viewers, and no such things like political talks or anything insulting. Not even antis can form a solid narrative for this. And yeah, a lot of the stuff that I've seen, at least, it might come up in some of these quotes that we look at, but some of it is just like her getting drunk and things, which I do think is it's people get drunk, they're an adult, they can do whatever the hell they want, and sometimes it can be fun on streams, that is stream content for a lot of people. Sure, it might be a little bit of unfittingness, it might be a little bit unfitting, towards VTubers, but still, at the end of the day, they're allowed to do it. They're an adult, they can do what the hell they want, right? But yeah, we can go on. People saying, so this drama just boils down to, I don't like what Ririka is doing with my model I designed, even though it's been 2 years since debut, and ultimately I just provided this design. Also, I deleted all my Ririka works because of this, which obviously, yeah, they say, yikes, kind of cringe. 100% true, got false ID here, adding a little bit of a, a translated version of this. Essentially saying that, they're requesting Cover Corporation to take action, correcting Ichiro Riku's statements and everything like that. Said, there have been no personal interactions with us other than the post on X, and not even through a manager, as these statements are not true, as in fact, there have been cases in the past where orders have been placed through a manager or staff at the request of the talent. So yeah, obviously this was kind of response to everything. Again, we kind of covered the main parts of it, but people are not happy. Fans are not happy with this and are clowning on them for exactly what has gone on, because again, it is incredibly odd behavior. People putting question mark. Again, it's very, very odd. I don't know why the artists decided to do this, but again, yeah, they better be prepared for the lawsuit, because again, Cover Corporation are not they're not going to back down from this. This is one of the clips I saw, by the way, saying during Hololive's Ichiro Ririka's sans vulgar ring fifth section, they were jokingly saying something like Nakamura gets mad again, but could it be possibly for real? We began discussions regarding future responses, but the discussions were suspended due to statements from the talents in question. And I think this is one of the clips that they were talking about. Obviously, you can see here that she's doing... Oh my god, that's a bit loud. She's doing a bit of bending over and stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's anything that bad. It's just a funny kind of, moment. And sure, maybe the artist was unhappy with that, or they don't like how it's being used. But it's not their decision. It's not their decision. It is the streamer's decision to do this, and also Hololive's decision too. Because you've got to remember, it's not just Ririka that's just going crazy with this and going insane and out there. Hololive is actively going yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, you're fine. Else they would be telling her, don't do this again, and she would stop doing it, which hasn't been the case. Hololive have been totally fine with her acting this way, and been totally fine with what she's been doing on stream. But obviously, it's the artist that has the problem with it, which is obviously pretty interesting, right? And she's also provided some other, or the artist provided some other things, saying this post was intended to provide clarification in response to a situation where, due to the content of the broadcast stating no interactions were conducted through the manager in connection with image deletions and unfollowing actions, there's been a misunderstanding among people to the effect that there were no interactions whatsoever, including past orders and communications. Therefore, our side unilaterally deleted images solely due to the dissatisfaction with the character's persona. The discussion regarding this matter has been left unaddressed, with no apologies or the like. Given these circumstances, we've been seeking cooperation from the other party for corrections. Furthermore, the main cause stems from the accumulation of these issues arising from interactions in past transactions with Cover Corp, and the request was for improvements in that regard. It was not intended to restrict activities of the talent. So again, obviously, apparently, I think they're trying to say that it's supposed to put pressure on cover, and that it wasn't really supposed to be anything to put pressure on the talent. But I mean, what did you really expect making something like this? I mean, telling someone that they can't do something, using your model thing, you're 100% restricting the actual talent themselves. If anything, you're actually hurting the talent more than cover, if that was their original intent, right? So yeah, that's very, very interesting. Also, Cover Corp responding to this, saying, regarding posts on X concerning our company and affiliated talents, we sincerely thank you for the continued support of Hololive Production, the VTuber agency operated by our company, as well as our affiliated talents. On December 10th, 2025, an illustrator with whom our company has business dealings made a post on X mentioning our company and our affiliated talents. It is true that we're in discussion with the illustrators regarding this matter, but there is a discrepancy in understanding concerning the references to the talent's actions. We are continuing discussions between parties involved, including this point. Our company believes that there is no circumstances attributable to the talent as described, and we will address this under our responsibility. We will continue to handle this matter, but please understand that we are unable to respond to individual inquiries regarding this case, including direct inquiries to the talent. Additionally, please refrain from spreading speculation about the talent, the illustrator, or other related parties based on this content or the post in question, as well as any defamation or slander. We deeply apologize for any concern this may cause you, but as a company, we will provide sufficient support to ensure that the talent's activities are not hindered. So yeah, obviously that's what they had to say about it, obviously backing up their talent there. It seems that they are in discussions about things. So again, it'll be interesting to see what kind of comes out of this, if, they do take down this statement or something, what happens to Ririka. I'm sure Ririka will be fine, and I hope that, obviously, maybe in the future she gets a artist that respects her a little bit more for her, kind of talents and things, because, I don't think that this artist is going to win in terms of her not using the model or whatever, or getting rid of it. I think that obviously she's going to continue using it, but I'm sure somewhere down the line, later down the line, maybe not as soon as possible, but at some point, they might switch up artists or whatever to avoid any further conflict or whatever like that. So, I'm hoping that she finds an artist who actually likes her for being her, rather than, trying to police and just be a little bit weird about how she's acting on stream and essentially throwing a tantrum about it over on Twitter and deleting all of the artwork and things. Very, very weird and very, very odd that they have suddenly done that. But yeah, that is essentially everything there is to do with the situation. I just kind of wanted to keep you guys up to date. As I said, it is a very, very, confusing. It's very disjointed. It's very there's posts everywhere. It's all in like Japanese and things, so it's hard to follow. So I hope that this video kind of gave you a little bit more of a condensed version and a little bit more of an understanding of what events have actually gone on and how people have replied to it, including Cover, including obviously this person, the artist as well. Again, also from Rurika's point of view, I forgot to add this. I haven't really seen many posts talking about it. She has been posting, but not really posting about the situation as of yet. So obviously that's probably under Cover's kind of, orders, right? So again, I'll keep you guys up to date if there's anything from Cover or anything from Ririka talking about this, because again, it is very, very interesting. And if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.